Hey everyone, new video is ready. Watch till the end. The ending will surprise you. Trust me, you won't believe what happens.
They told me there was no room for us in a house my grandmother built. I stood on that porch with my 6-year-old son shivering beside me. His breath came out in small white clouds. Inside, I could hear laughter, music, the clink of glasses. 20 people crammed into the Lake Geneva Lodge. My mother stood in the doorway with her arms crossed. "We're at capacity, Jessica," she said, like I was a stranger asking for a table at a restaurant. My son tugged on my coat. "Mommy, why can't we go inside?" I didn't answer him. I looked past my mother. I saw my brother Tyler sprawled on the couch. I saw cousins I barely knew. I saw neighbors. I saw people I'd never met, but there was no room for us. The heavy timbered door closed. Not slammed, just closed. Slow, final. I didn't beg. I didn't cry. I just stood there in the snow with my son's hand in mine. That's when something inside me broke. Not my heart. Something deeper. It broke, clean, and I finally understood. This was never about space. I didn't realize I was the outsider until I was already grown. When you're a kid, you just accept things. You think that's how families work. You think maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're not funny enough. Not easy enough. Not enough. My brother Tyler was 3 years older than me. And from the time we were small, everything revolved around him. He was the golden one. The charming one. The one who could mess up and still get a hug. I was the one who had to earn it. When Tyler failed his classes in high school, my parents hired a tutor. When I asked for help with my college applications, my dad told me to figure it out myself. "You're smart, Jessica. You'll manage." I did manage. I got a scholarship. I worked 2 jobs through nursing school. I graduated with honors. I paid every single dollar myself. Tyler dropped out of 3 different schools. My parents paid for all of them. They never said a word about the money. But when I asked to borrow the car to get to my shift at the hospital, my mother sighed like I was asking her to donate a kidney. I told myself it didn't matter. I told myself I was stronger for it. Independent. Self-made. But deep down, I was still waiting. Waiting for them to notice. Waiting for them to be proud. They never were. When I got married, my mother complained about the venue. When I got divorced 3 years later, she said, "I knew he wasn't right for you," like she'd tried to warn me. She hadn't. She didn't come to the wedding. When my son was born, I called her from the hospital. She said she'd visit soon. She didn't come for 5 weeks. But when Tyler got a new dog, she drove 4 hours the same day to meet it. I made excuses for her. She's busy. She's stressed. She's just like that. But it wasn't just her. It was all of them. My father barely looked at me during family dinners. He asked Tyler about work, about his friends, about his opinions on politics and sports. He asked me to pass the salt. I started keeping score without meaning to. I remembered every slight, every canceled plan, every time they chose him over me. And still, I showed up. Every Christmas, I bought gifts. Thoughtful ones. I spent hours picking things out. I wrapped them carefully. I wrote long cards. Tyler brought wine. Sometimes, not even that. One year, he showed up empty-handed and said, "I forgot it's Christmas." They laughed. They thought it was charming. I brought homemade cookies, a cashmere scarf for my mother, a first edition book for my dad. My mother said the cookies were too sweet. My father didn't even open the book in front of me, but I kept trying. I think that's the worst part. I kept trying. I thought if I was good enough, kind enough, useful enough, they would finally see me. Really see me. I hosted Thanksgiving 1 year. I cleaned my apartment for days. I cooked everything from scratch. Turkey, stuffing, 3 kinds of pie. I set the table with real candles. Tyler showed up 2 hours late with a bag of rolls from the gas station. My mother hugged him like he'd just returned from war. She barely looked at the table I'd set. That night, after everyone left, I sat on my kitchen floor and cried. Not because I was tired, because I finally understood. It didn't matter what I did. I was never going to be enough, but I still wasn't ready to stop. There's this thing that happens when you grow up feeling invisible. You start to believe that love is something you earn. That if you just work harder, give more, shrink yourself down small enough, maybe they'll make room for you. So I kept showing up. I kept smiling. I kept pretending it didn't hurt, and they kept taking. When my son turned 4, I threw him a birthday party. I invited my parents. I invited Tyler. I rented a bounce house. I made a cake shaped like a dinosaur. My mother called an hour before and said they couldn't make it. Tyler had a hangover. Not Tyler was sick. Not an emergency. A hangover. I stood in my backyard with a dozen kids running around, and I felt like I was disappearing. My son asked where Grandma was. I told him she'd come next time.
He believed me.
I didn't. That's when I started to pull back. Just a little. I stopped calling as much. I stopped sending long texts. I stopped trying to force connection where there wasn't any. And you know what happened? Nothing. They didn't notice. Tyler still called when he needed something. My mother still expected me to show up for holidays. My father still forgot my birthday. But when I didn't reach out, the phone stayed silent. I wasn't missed. I was just expected. And then came this Christmas. Grandma Mary had invited everyone to the lodge. It was her tradition. Every Christmas Eve, the whole family gathered at the Lake Geneva house. It had been in our family for 40 years. My grandma bought it herself with money she saved from teaching piano. She loved that house. And she loved having everyone together. I was excited. My son was excited. He'd never been to the lodge for Christmas. We bought new clothes. I baked cookies to bring. I wrapped presents for everyone. I thought maybe this year would be different. Grandma was hosting. She always made me feel seen. I thought maybe, with her there, I'd finally be treated like I belonged. I was wrong. We drove 3 hours. My son talked the whole way.
He was so happy.
He wanted to build a snowman with his uncle. He wanted to sit by the fire with Grandma. I didn't tell him that his uncle probably wouldn't even notice him. When we pulled up to the lodge, the driveway was packed. Cars everywhere. The windows glowed warm and golden. I could see people moving inside. Shadows laughing. It looked like a postcard. I took my son's hand, and we walked up the stone path to the porch. I knocked. My mother opened the door. She didn't smile. "Jessica," she said, flat, like my name tasted bad. "Merry Christmas, Mom," I said. I held up the cookies. We're at capacity. I blinked. What? The lodge is full. We can't fit anyone else. I looked past her. I saw people I didn't even know. I saw Tyler's friends. I saw neighbors. I saw a woman I'd never seen in my life, holding a glass of champagne. "Mom," I said slowly. "We drove 3 hours. I'm sorry, Jessica. There's just no room." My son looked up at me. His little face was confused. "But Grandma invited us," I said. She didn't know how many people were coming. That was a lie. I could feel it. "Where is she?" I asked.
"She's resting."
"She's not feeling well." Another lie. I stood there, snow falling around us, my son shivering beside me, and my mother just stared at me, waiting for me to leave. I didn't beg. I didn't argue. I just looked at her, really looked at her, and I saw it, clear as glass. She didn't want me there. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't about capacity. This was a choice. I nodded. "Okay." I turned around. I took my son's hand. "Mommy," he whispered. "It's okay, baby," I said. My voice didn't shake. "We're going home." The door closed behind us.
Soft.
Final. I walked to the car. I buckled my son in. I got in the driver's seat. And I didn't cry. Not yet. I sat in the car for a full minute before I started the engine. My hands were on the wheel. My son was quiet in the back seat. I could hear the heat starting to blow through the vents. I didn't know what to say to him. How do you explain to a 6-year-old that his own grandmother just shut the door in his face? How do you tell him that the people who are supposed to love you sometimes just don't? I put the car in reverse. I backed out slowly. The lodge got smaller in the rearview mirror. The lights, the warmth, the laughter, all of it disappearing behind me. I drove. I didn't know where I was going. I just drove. The road was dark. Snow was falling harder now. My son stared out the window. He didn't ask any questions. I think he knew. Kids always know. After about 10 minutes, he said it. Quiet. Almost like he didn't want me to hear. "Mommy, do they not like us?" My chest cracked open. I pulled over. Right there on the side of the road. I put the car in park, and I sat there gripping the wheel so hard my knuckles went white. I couldn't answer him, because the truth was yes. Yes, baby. They don't like us.
I don't know why.
I've spent my whole life trying to figure out why. But I couldn't say that. So I said nothing. I just sat there, staring at the snow hitting the windshield. And that's when it happened. Something inside me snapped. Not broke. Snapped. Like a rope that had been pulled too tight for too long. Like a bone that finally gave out under weight it was never meant to carry. I was done. Not sad. Not hurt.
Done.
I had spent 32 years trying to earn a place in that family. Trying to be good enough. Smart enough. Quiet enough. Useful enough. And it was never going to be enough. Because the problem wasn't me. It was them. They didn't want me there. They never had. I was the one they tolerated. The one they kept around out of obligation. The one they called when they needed something, but never when they just wanted to talk. I was furniture. Useful. Ignorable. And I was done being that. I looked in the rearview mirror.
My son was watching me.
His eyes were big and wet. We're going to be okay, I said. And I meant it. I put the car back in drive. I was about to pull onto the road when my phone rang. I looked at the screen. Grandma Mary. My heart jumped. I answered. Grandma? Jessica. Her voice was sharp. Angry. Where are you? We're on the road. Mom said there wasn't room. There was silence. Then I heard her breathe out slow. That woman, she said. And her voice was shaking. Not with sadness. With rage. Grandma, it's okay. We're just going to go home. You will do no such thing. You turn that car around right now. Grandma, I don't want to make a scene. Jessica. She cut me off. Her voice was steel. This is my house. And I invited you. You turn around. Right now. I didn't argue. When Grandma Mary used that tone, you didn't argue. I made a U-turn. My son perked up in the back seat. Are we going back? Yeah, baby, I said. We're going back. I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what Grandma was planning. But I knew one thing. This wasn't over. The drive back felt longer. My heart was pounding. I didn't know if I was nervous or angry or relieved. Maybe all three. When I pulled back into the driveway, I saw her. Grandma Mary, standing on the porch, arms crossed, 78 years old, and standing there in the cold like a soldier. I parked. I got out. I got my son out of the back seat. Grandma came down the steps. She walked right to us. She didn't say a word. She just pulled my son into a hug. I'm so sorry, sweetheart, she said to him. That should never have happened. He hugged her back.
Tight.
Then she looked at me. Her eyes were soft. But there was something else there too. Something fierce. Come on, she said. She took my son's hand. I followed them up the steps. The front door was still closed. Grandma didn't knock. She opened it. The noise hit us first.
Talking.
Laughing. Music playing. Everyone turned. My mother was standing near the fireplace. Her face went pale. Mom, she started. I told you, we're at capacity. Be quiet, Linda. Grandma's voice cut through the room like a blade. My mother's mouth closed. Grandma walked in, still holding my grandson's hand. I followed behind her. The room was silent now. Everyone staring. Grandma looked around. At all of them. The neighbors. The strangers. Tyler sprawled on the couch. Capacity, she said.
Slow. Cold.
Interesting word. My mother tried to smile, tried to smooth it over. Mom, we just didn't want it to be too crowded. You didn't want Jessica here. The room froze. My mother's face flushed. That's not. Don't lie to me, Linda. Grandma turned to face her, fully. And I saw something I'd never seen before. My grandmother was furious. This is my house, Grandma said. Quiet.
Deadly.
I invited Jessica. I invited my great-grandson. And you turned them away. There wasn't room. There are 23 people in this house. I counted. Last I checked, this lodge holds 30. My mother opened her mouth, closed it. Tyler stood up from the couch. Grandma, come on. It's Christmas. Let's not do this. Grandma turned to him. Sit down, Tyler. He sat. She looked back at my mother. You humiliated your daughter. On Christmas Eve, in front of her son. Her voice was shaking now. You shut the door in her face. I didn't mean. Yes, you did. The room was so quiet I could hear the fire crackling. Grandma reached into her pocket. She pulled out her phone. I have something to show everyone, she said. My mother's face went white. Mom, she said. Please. You should have thought about that before you lied. Grandma tapped her phone. She turned up the volume. And then I heard it. My mother's voice.
Clear as day.
Is she gone? Tyler's voice.
Yeah.
She left. Good. I don't need her snooping around tonight.
Why?
What's going on? Just keep her away. I'll explain later. The recording stopped. Everyone stared. My mother looked like she was going to be sick. I didn't understand. Snooping? What was she talking about? Grandma looked at me.
Her face was sad now.
There's more, sweetheart, she said gently. I'm sorry you have to hear it like this. She looked at my mother. Tell her, Grandma said. Or I will. My mother didn't speak, so Grandma did. They didn't want you here tonight, Jessica, she said. Because they're hiding something. My heart dropped. What? I whispered. Grandma's jaw tightened. They stole from me. The room exploded into whispers. I just stood there, frozen. What are you talking about? I said. Grandma looked at my mother, then at Tyler. The silver, she said. My stomach turned. The Georgian silver. The antique set that had been in our family for generations. Worth a fortune. Grandma kept it in the guest cottage. No, I said. No, it's gone, Grandma said. All of it. I looked at my mother, at Tyler. Neither of them would look at me, and that's when I knew. It was true. I couldn't breathe. The room was spinning. All those faces staring at us. The fire crackling. The Christmas music still playing softly in the background like nothing was wrong. But everything was wrong. Grandma, I said slowly. What do you mean it's gone? She looked tired suddenly. Older. Like saying it out loud had taken something from her. The entire set, she said. Every piece. I went to the cottage this morning to set the table for dinner. The cabinet was empty. I looked at my mother. She was staring at the floor. Mom, I said. My voice sounded strange.
Distant.
Where is it? She didn't answer. Tyler stood up. This is insane. You can't just accuse us. Sit down, Grandma said again. Sharper this time. He didn't sit. He looked at my father. My father was standing by the window. He hadn't said a word. He looked pale.
Caught.
Dad, I said. Do you know something about this? He cleared his throat. Mary, I think you're confused. The silver is probably just. Don't, Grandma said. Her voice was shaking now. Don't you dare stand there and lie to my face, Richard. My father's mouth closed. I felt my son's hand slip into mine. He was scared. I could feel him trembling. I squeezed his hand. It's okay, baby, I whispered. But it wasn't okay. Nothing about this was okay. Grandma walked over to the mantel. She picked up a small wooden box. She opened it. Inside was a piece of paper. She held it up. I found this, she said. In the trash. Outside the cottage. She handed it to me. My hands were shaking as I took it. It was a receipt. From a pawn shop. I read it once. Then again. The words weren't making sense. Georgian silver service. 12 place settings. Appraised value, $50,000. Loan amount, $30,000. The date was 2 weeks ago. I looked up. My vision was blurry.
Who did this?
I asked. No one answered. I looked at Tyler. His face was red.
Sweating.
Tyler, I said.
He looked away.
Tyler. My voice cracked. It was a loan, he said quickly. I'm going to get it back. I just needed some cash and you pawned Grandma's silver? I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You stole from her? I didn't steal it. I borrowed it. You took something that wasn't yours and sold it. I'm going to buy it back. With what money? Grandma's voice was ice. You're unemployed, Tyler. You've been unemployed for 8 months. The room was silent. Tyler's jaw tightened. I had some expenses. Gambling debts, Grandma said flatly. Someone gasped. I think it was one of the neighbors. Tyler's face went dark. That's not. I know about the poker games, Tyler. I know about the online betting. I know everything. My mother finally spoke. Her voice was small, defensive.
He made a mistake.
He's going to fix it. I turned to her. You knew. She didn't answer.
Mom.
You knew. Jessica, it's complicated. You knew he stole from Grandma and you didn't tell anyone? We were handling it. By kicking me out? My voice was rising now. I couldn't stop it. You kicked me and my son out into the snow so I wouldn't find out? Her face crumpled. You don't understand. Then make me understand. I was shaking. Tell me why you protected him and threw me away. She opened her mouth,
Closed it.
She had no answer, because there was no good answer. My father stepped forward. Jessica, calm down. Don't tell me to calm down. This is a family matter. We don't need to air this in front of everyone. I looked around the room, at all the people watching, the strangers, the neighbors, Tyler's drunk friends on the couch. You made it public when you humiliated me in front of all of them, I said. My father's face hardened. We didn't humiliate you. You shut the door in my face. We told you there wasn't room. There was room. I was yelling now. I didn't care. There was room for everyone else. There was room for people I've never even met, but not for me. My son started crying.
Soft. Scared.
I picked him up. He buried his face in my shoulder. Grandma walked over to us. She put her hand on my back. I'm sorry, sweetheart, she said quietly. I didn't know until this morning. I didn't know they'd turned you away. I was upstairs resting, and when I came down and asked where you were, your mother told me you couldn't make it. I closed my eyes. It's not your fault, Grandma. I should have known. I should have called you. You're calling me now. She nodded. She looked at my mother, at my father, at Tyler. I want all of you out, she said. My mother's head snapped up. What? Out of my house.
Now.
Mom, you can't be serious. I have never been more serious in my life. Grandma's voice didn't rise. It didn't have to. You stole from me. You lied to me. You turned away my granddaughter on Christmas Eve to cover your tracks. She shook her head. Get out. This is our family Christmas. My mother's voice was shrill now.
Panicked.
You should have thought about that before you chose your son's crimes over your daughter's dignity. Tyler stepped forward. Grandma, please.
I'm sorry.
I'll get the silver back. I swear. With what money, Tyler? He didn't answer. You pawned a $50,000 heirloom for $30,000 and you've already gambled it away, haven't you? His silence was the answer. Someone in the room muttered something. I heard the word, unbelievable. My mother was crying now, real tears, loud, shaking sobs. Please, she said. Please, Mom, don't do this. Not on Christmas. Grandma looked at her, and for a moment, I thought maybe she'd soften, but she didn't. You made your choice, Linda, Grandma said. Now live with it. She turned to the room, to all the guests standing there with their drinks and their awkward faces. The rest of you are welcome to stay, she said calmly. Dinner will be served at 7, but these 3 need to leave. My father grabbed his coat. His face was hard, closed off. Tyler was staring at the floor. My mother was still crying. She looked at me. Jessica, she said, pleading. Jessica, please. Tell her we didn't mean it. I stared at her. This woman who birthed me, raised me,
Who was supposed to protect me.
and all I felt was empty. You did mean it, I said quietly. Her face broke. You've always meant it, I continued. Every time you chose him over me.
Every time you ignored me.
Every time you made me feel like I wasn't enough. You meant it. That's not true. It is true. My voice didn't shake, and I'm done pretending it's not.
She reached for me.
I stepped back.
Don't, I said.
She dropped her hand. Grandma opened the front door. Cold air rushed in.
Out, she said.
My father walked out first.
Stiff. Silent.
Tyler followed. He didn't look at anyone. My mother stood there for a moment longer, looking at me,
Looking at Grandma.
Then she turned and walked out. The door closed behind them. The room was silent. I stood there holding my son, his face still buried in my shoulder. Grandma walked over to the fireplace. She picked up a glass of wine. She took a sip. Then she looked at everyone. Dinner at 7, she said again.
Calm.
Steady. And just like that, the room exhaled. People started talking again, quietly at first, then louder. The music came back up. Grandma walked over to me. She touched my face. You okay? She asked. I nodded. I wasn't okay, but I would be. She smiled, sad but proud.
Come on, she said.
Let's get this boy some hot chocolate. We sat in the kitchen, just the 3 of us. Grandma made hot chocolate, the real kind, with milk and cocoa powder and little marshmallows on top. My son sat at the table swinging his legs. His eyes were still red, but he wasn't crying anymore. I couldn't stop shaking. Grandma set a mug in front of me.
She sat down.
Drink, she said. I wrapped my hands around the mug. The warmth helped. How did you know?
I asked.
My voice was hoarse. About the silver? I nodded.
She sighed.
I went to the cottage this morning to set the table. I like to use the silver on Christmas Eve. It was your great-grandmother's. She brought it over from England in 1952. I knew the story. I'd heard it 100 times. The cabinet was open, Grandma continued. Empty. At first I thought maybe I'd moved it and forgotten. I'm old. It happens. She smiled a little.
Sad.
But then I looked closer. The lock had been forced. Someone had pried it open. My stomach turned. I asked your father about it. He said he didn't know anything. Said maybe it had been stolen. Said we should call the police. But you didn't.
No.
She looked at me. Because I know your father. And I know when he's lying. I closed my eyes. I went through the trash, she said. I don't know why.
Just a feeling.
And I found the receipt. From the pawn shop. Yes. And you knew it was Tyler. She nodded. Your father has money. Not a lot, but enough. He wouldn't pawn jewelry. But Tyler. She trailed off. Tyler's desperate. I finished. Yes. We sat in silence for a moment. My son slurped his hot chocolate. The sound was so normal. So innocent. I wanted to scream. Why didn't you tell me? I asked. I only found out this morning. I called your mother. I told her I knew. I told her I was going to call the police unless Tyler returned every piece by tonight. What did she say? She begged me not to. She said Tyler made a mistake. She said he'd fix it. She said it would destroy him if I press charges. She always says that. Grandma nodded. I told her I'd give her until tonight. I told her I wanted the silver back on the table by dinner. And I told her I wanted you and your grandson here. That this was non-negotiable. But she didn't want me here.
No.
Because I would have noticed. Yes. I laughed. It came out bitter. Broken. So she lied. I said. She made up a story about capacity. She shut the door in my
face.
She sent me away so I wouldn't see the empty cabinet. So I wouldn't ask questions. Yes. She protected him. Yes. Like always. Grandma reached across the table. She took my hand. I'm sorry, Jessica, she said. I'm so sorry. I shook my head. It's not your fault. I should have seen it sooner. The way she treated you. The way they all did. You did see it. Not enough. Her eyes were wet. I should have stopped it. I should have said something years ago. It wouldn't have mattered. Maybe not. But I should have tried. We sat there, hand in hand. My son finished his hot chocolate. He looked at Grandma. Can I see the tree? He asked. She smiled. Of course, sweetheart. He slid off his chair and ran into the living room. I heard him gasp. It's so big. Grandma squeezed my hand. Then she let go. There's something else, she said. I looked at her. She pulled out her phone again. The porch camera. It records audio. My heart sank. Grandma, you need to hear this. She tapped the screen. She turned up the volume. I heard the door close. My voice. Faint. Defeated. Come on, baby. Let's go. Then footsteps. The door opening again. My mother's voice. Loud now.
Clear.
Is she gone? Tyler.
Yeah.
She just drove off. Good. I still think this is messed up, Mom. I froze. Tyler said that? My mother laughed.
Sharp. Cold.
Oh, please. Don't pretend you care. I'm just saying. It's Christmas. And she'll get over it. She always does. Silence. Then Tyler again. Quieter. What if Grandma finds out? She won't. Not tonight. And by the time she does, we'll have figured something out. Like what? I don't know, Tyler. But I can't have Jessica here tonight. She'll notice the silver is missing. She'll ask questions. She'll ruin everything. You really think she's that smart? My mother laughed again. Jessica?
Please.
She's smart enough to be annoying. Always watching. Always judging. She doesn't judge you. Yes, she does. She thinks she's better than us. Little Miss Perfect. Little Miss, I paid for my own college. She's been holding that over my head for 10 years. I felt like I'd been punched. Tyler's voice. Uncomfortable. Mom, what? It's true. She acts like she's some kind of saint because she didn't need our help. Like that makes her superior. That's not. She looks down on you, Tyler. You know she does. Silence. Then Tyler. Quiet.
Yeah,
I know. So stop feeling guilty.
she's fine.
She doesn't need us. She said it herself 100 times. The recording cut off. Grandma turned off her phone. I couldn't speak. I just sat there, staring at nothing. I'm sorry you had to hear that, Grandma said softly. I shook my head. I needed to. Did you? Yeah. My voice cracked. Because now I know. Know what? That it was never in my head. I looked at her. I spent my whole life thinking I was the problem. That I wasn't warm enough. Wasn't easy enough. That if I just tried harder, they'd love me the way they loved him. Grandma's face crumpled. But they never will, I continued. Because they don't want to. They've made me the villain in their story. The stuck-up daughter who thinks she's better than them. And nothing I do will ever change that. Jessica, she threw me away, Grandma. The tears came now, hot, angry. On Christmas Eve, she threw me away to protect him. Again. Grandma stood up. She came around the table. She pulled me into her arms. I sobbed into her shoulder. All the years. All the trying. All the hoping.
It poured out of me.
She held me. She didn't say anything. She just held me. When I finally stopped crying, she pulled back.
She looked at me.
You're not the problem, she said firmly. Do you hear me? You never were. I nodded. You're kind. You're smart. You're strong. And you deserved better. I know, I whispered. Do you? I looked at her. I'm starting to. She smiled.
Sad. Proud.
From the living room, my son called out, Mommy, come see the tree. I wiped my face. I stood up. Grandma touched my arm. There's one more thing, she said. I looked at her. I'm changing my will. My heart stopped. Grandma, no. You don't have to. Yes, I do. Her voice was firm. This house. The cottage. Everything. It's going to you. Grandma, I've already called my lawyer. It's done. I stared at her. But your kids. My daughter helped her son steal from me and then lied about it. My grandson pawned a family heirloom to pay off gambling debts. She shook her head. They don't deserve this place. What about Tyler? He'll contest it. Let him try. Her eyes were hard. I have the receipt. I have the recording. I have documentation of every dime I've given him over the years. If he wants to take me to court, I'll bury him.
I didn't know what to say.
She cupped my face. This house was built with love, Jessica. It deserves to stay that way. She smiled. And you and that little boy in there? You're the only family I have left that understands that. I hugged her.
Tight.
Thank you, I whispered. Don't thank me. You've earned it. We stood there for a long moment. Then my son ran in. Mommy, Grandma. There's presents under the tree. Grandma laughed. Well, we better go see. She took his hand. I followed them into the living room. The fire was crackling. The tree was glowing. My son's eyes were wide with wonder. And for the first time all night, I felt something other than pain. I felt peace. Dinner was at 7, just like Grandma said. The dining room table was set with white linens and red candles. There were place cards, cloth napkins folded into swans. Everything looked perfect, except for one thing. The silver was missing. In its place were plain white plates, regular forks and knives. Nothing special. I noticed it immediately. So did everyone else. People kept glancing at the table, whispering. They knew something was off. Grandma always used the silver on Christmas Eve. It was tradition. Grandma didn't say a word about it. She just smiled and asked everyone to sit. There were about 18 people at dinner. Neighbors. A few cousins I barely knew. Tyler's friends had left after the earlier scene. The house felt quieter now. Tense. My son sat next to me. He was tired but happy. He'd spent the last hour playing with Grandma's old toys in the attic. I tried to eat. The food was good. Ham, mashed potatoes, green beans. All of Grandma's classic. But I couldn't taste anything. I kept thinking about my parents, about Tyler.
About where they were right now.
Grandma had kicked them out hours ago. I didn't know if they'd left the property or if they were still in the guest cottage. I didn't ask. Halfway through dinner, the front door opened. Everyone stopped eating. My mother walked in. She looked terrible. Her makeup was smudged. Her eyes were red and swollen. She was still wearing her coat. Behind her was my father and Tyler. The room went silent. Grandma set down her fork. I told you to leave. My mother's voice shook. We need to talk. There's nothing to talk about. Mom, please. My mother took a step forward.
Please.
Just give us 5 minutes. Grandma stared at her. Then she looked at me. I didn't know what she wanted me to say. I just sat there. Grandma stood up.
Fine.
5 minutes. In the kitchen, she walked out of the dining room. My mother followed. So did my father and Tyler. I stayed at the table. Everyone was staring at me now. One of the neighbors leaned over. Are you okay, dear? I nodded. I'm fine. I wasn't fine. From the kitchen, I could hear voices. Muffled at first, then louder. My mother, pleading. We'll get it back. I swear. Just give us time.
Grandma.
Cold. Time? You've had 2 weeks. Tyler. Defensive. The pawn shop won't negotiate. They want the full amount plus interest. Then you should have thought about that before you stole it. My father's voice.
Calm. Controlled.
Mary, we're family. We can work this out. Family. Grandma laughed. Bitter. You want to talk to me about family, Richard? We made a mistake. You made a choice. Silence. Then my mother again, crying. What do you want from us? I want my silver back. We can't. Then you have nothing I want. Footsteps. The kitchen door swung open. Grandma walked back into the dining room. Her face was calm, but her hands were shaking. My mother followed. She looked destroyed. I want to see it, Grandma said. My mother blinked. See what? The receipt. Show me the pawn slip. Tyler pulled it out of his pocket. His hands were shaking too. Grandma took it. She read it slowly. Then she looked at him. $30,000, she said. Where is it? I told you. I had expenses. Gambling debts. Tyler's jaw clenched. I was going to win it back. And did you? He didn't answer. Grandma handed the receipt back. You pawned a $50,000 heirloom for $30,000, and you gambled it away in less than 2 weeks. Someone at the table gasped. Tyler's face went red. I didn't gamble all of it. How much is left? Silence. Tyler. How much is left? About $3,000, he muttered. The room erupted in whispers. Grandma closed her eyes. $3,000. I can get the rest. How? I'll get a job. I'll pay you back. You've been saying that for 10 years. Tyler's face twisted. Why are you doing this in front of everyone? Because you did this in front of everyone. Grandma gestured to the table. You stole from me. You lied. You involved your parents in your mess. And then you let your mother turn away your sister on Christmas Eve to cover for you. I didn't ask her to do that. Didn't you? Grandma's voice was quiet now. Dangerous. Or did you just let it happen? Like you always do. Tyler looked at the floor. My mother stepped forward. Mom, please. We'll make this right. I promise. You can't make this right, Linda. We'll buy it back. With what money? My father cleared his throat. We have some savings. We can. No. Grandma's voice was sharp. You will not bail him out. Not this time. He's our son, and she's your daughter.
Grandma pointed at me.
And you threw her out like garbage to protect him. My mother flinched. You have given that boy everything, Grandma continued. Her voice was rising now, shaking. Every opportunity, every second chance, every dollar. And what has he done with it? No one answered. He dropped out of 3 schools. He's been fired from 6 jobs. He lives in your basement. And now he's stolen from his own grandmother. Tyler's face was burning. I made a mistake. This isn't a mistake, Tyler. This is a pattern. She turned to my mother. And you enable him. You always have. My mother's lip trembled. I'm his mother. I'm supposed to help him. Help him? Grandma's laugh was sharp, painful. You're destroying him. You're teaching him that he can do whatever he wants and you'll clean it up. That's not help. That's poison. My mother started crying again. My father put his arm around her. Grandma looked at both of them. I gave you a chance to make this right. I told you this morning. Get the silver back by dinner, or I'm calling the police. My mother's head snapped up. You wouldn't. I would. Mom, please. Where's the silver, Linda? My mother's face crumpled. We can't get it back. Why not? The pawn shop sold it. The room went dead silent. I felt my heart drop. What? Grandma's voice was barely a whisper. My father spoke. His voice was tight. We called them this afternoon. The silver was sold yesterday. To a private buyer. Grandma swayed. For a second, I thought she was going to fall. I stood up. Grandma, she held up her hand. I'm fine. But she wasn't fine. She looked at Tyler. It's gone. He nodded. Barely. My mother's silver. The set she carried across an ocean. The set she polished every Sunday for 40 years. Her voice broke. It's gone. I'm sorry. Sorry? Grandma's eyes were blazing now. You're sorry? Tyler took a step back. That silver was supposed to go to Jessica, Grandma said. It was supposed to be hers one day. It was supposed to stay in this family. I felt the room tilt. I didn't know that. Grandma looked at me. Her eyes were wet. Your great-grandmother wanted you to have it, sweetheart. She told me before she died. She said you were the only one who'd take care of it. I couldn't speak. She turned back to Tyler. And you sold it for poker chips. Tyler's face was white. My mother reached for Grandma's arm. Mom, please. We'll find the buyer. We'll get it back. Grandma pulled away. Get out. Mom, get out of my house. Please, get out. Grandma's voice filled the room. My mother stumbled backward. My father caught her. Grandma pointed to the door. All of you.
Out. Now.
My father's face hardened. Mary, you're being unreasonable. Unreasonable? Grandma laughed. It sounded broken. Your son stole $50,000 from me. And I'm unreasonable? He made a mistake. Stop calling it a mistake. Her voice cracked. It was theft. It was betrayal. And you helped him cover it up. My father's mouth opened.
Closed.
He had no defense. Because it was true. Grandma walked to the door. She opened it. Cold air rushed in. Out, she said again. Quieter now. Tired. My mother looked at me one last time. Her face was desperate.
Pleading.
I looked away. She turned and walked out. Tyler followed. His shoulders hunched. My father was the last to leave. He paused at the door.
This isn't over, Mary, he said.
Yes, Richard. Grandma said softly. It is. She closed the door. The silence after they left was deafening. Everyone at the table just sat there. Forks frozen. Eyes wide. Grandma stood by the door for a long moment, her hand still on the handle. Then she turned around. She walked back to the table.
Sat down. Picked up her napkin.
Please, she said calmly. Continue eating. The ham is getting cold. No one moved. She looked around. I apologize for the disruption. Family matters. I'm sure you understand. Slowly, people started eating again. The conversation picked up. Quiet at first, then normal. But I couldn't eat. I kept staring at the empty space where the silver should have been. My great-grandmother's silver. It was supposed to be mine. I didn't even know. After dinner, people started leaving.
They thanked Grandma,
Hugged her, wished her Merry Christmas. No one mentioned what happened. By 8 o'clock, the house was empty except for me, Grandma, and my son. He'd fallen asleep on the couch, curled up with one of Grandma's old quilts. Grandma and I sat by the fire.
She had a glass of brandy.
I had tea. Neither of us spoke for a long time. Finally, I said it. Why didn't you tell me about the silver? She looked at the fire. I was going to. After your grandmother passed. But then life happened. You got married, had your son. It never seemed like the right time. You should have told me. I know.
She looked at me.
I'm sorry. I shook my head.
I
don't care about the silver, Grandma. I know you don't. That's why it was supposed to be yours. We sat in silence again. Can I ask you something? I said. Anything. Why did they do it? Why did Mom turn me away tonight? Grandma sighed. You really want to know? Yes. She set down her glass. Because you would have noticed. Noticed what? Everything. She looked at me. You pay attention, Jessica. You always have. If you'd walked into this house tonight, you would have seen the empty cabinet in the cottage. You would have asked questions. You would have kept asking until someone told you the truth. So, she kicked me out. Yes. To protect Tyler. Yes. I felt the anger rise again. Hot.
sharp.
She chose him, I said. Again. Yes. Why? My voice broke. Why does she always choose him? Grandma was quiet for a moment. Then she said, because he needs her. I looked at her. Tyler has always needed your mother, Grandma continued. He's needed her money, her excuses, her protection. And your mother, she needs to be needed. And I don't need her.
No.
You don't. I laughed, bitter. So I get punished for being independent. In a way, yes. That's insane. It is. Grandma leaned forward. But it's also the truth. Your mother has built her entire identity around saving Tyler. If she stops, she has to face the fact that she's failed, that he's failed, that all the money and excuses and second chances didn't work. So she keeps going. Yes. And I'm just what? Collateral damage? Grandma reached for my hand. You're the one who got away. I didn't understand. You didn't need saving, she explained. You put yourself through school. You built a life. You raised a good boy. You did it all without her. And I think, deep down, that terrifies her. Why? Because it proves she was never necessary. The words hit me like a slap. Tyler needs her, Grandma said softly. But you never did. And she resents you for it. I pulled my hand away. That's not fair.
No.
It's not. I wanted her. I wanted her to be proud of me. I wanted her to love me. I know, sweetheart. But she couldn't, because I didn't need her enough. Grandma nodded. I felt tears coming. I blinked them back. So tonight, I said slowly, when she had to choose between protecting Tyler's secret or letting me in, she chose him. Yes, because he's her purpose. Yes. And I'm just the daughter who reminds her of her failures. Grandma's face crumpled. Oh, Jessica. It's true, isn't it? She didn't answer. She didn't have to. I stood up. I walked to the window. Outside, snow was falling, soft and silent. I spent my whole life trying to earn her love, I said. My voice was hollow. I thought if I was good enough, smart enough, successful enough, if I didn't need anything from her, she'd finally see me. I know, but that's exactly why she didn't. Yes. I pressed my forehead against the cold glass. I was never the problem, I whispered.
No, sweetheart.
You never were. I turned around. She made me feel like I was. I know. She made me feel like I was too much. Too difficult. Too strong. Grandma stood up. You were too strong. And she couldn't control that. I felt something shift inside me. Something heavy breaking loose. I don't want to see her anymore, I said. Grandma nodded. I understand. I don't want to keep trying. I don't want to keep hoping she'll change. Then don't. Is that okay? Grandma walked over to me. She took my face in her hands. Jessica, listen to me. You don't owe her anything. Not your time. Not your energy. Not your hope. Her eyes were fierce. You've given her 32 years. That's enough. But she's my mother. And you're her daughter. But she didn't treat you like one. The tears came now, hot and fast. She hurt me, I said. Yes. She's been hurting me my whole life. Yes. And I let her. Because you loved her. Grandma wiped my tears. But love isn't supposed to hurt like this. I sobbed. She pulled me into her arms. You get to walk away, she whispered. You get to choose yourself. I don't know how. Yes, you do. You've been doing it your whole life. You just didn't know you were allowed to. I cried into her shoulder. All the years. All the pain. All the trying. I let it go. When I finally pulled away, Grandma was crying too. I'm sorry, she said. I'm so sorry I didn't protect you from this. It's not your fault. I saw it. I saw how she treated you. I should have done more. You're doing it now. She nodded. She wiped her eyes. We stood there. Two women who'd been hurt by the same family, but we were still standing. What happens now? I asked. Grandma smiled, sad but determined. Now, she said, we take back what's ours. The house. Everything. She walked over to her desk. She pulled out a folder. I called my lawyer this afternoon, she said. I'm changing my will. The house. The cottage. The land. All of it. It's going to you. Grandma. It's already done, Jessica. I had him draw up the papers. I'm signing them tomorrow. What about Mom? And Tyler? They get nothing. I stared at her. They stole from me, she said simply. They lied. They chose their own interests over family. They don't deserve this place. Tyler will fight it. Let him. Her eyes were hard. I have documentation. I have the pawn receipt. I have the recording from the porch. If he wants to challenge me, I'll see him in court. This will destroy them. They destroyed themselves. I didn't know what to say. Grandma walked over to me. This house was built with love, Jessica. My parents saved for 20 years to buy this land. They built this place with their own hands. They filled it with family and laughter and hope. She looked around. It deserves to stay that way. And you think I can do that? I know you can. She smiled. You and that beautiful boy. You're the only real family I have left. I felt my throat tighten. Grandma, you've earned this, sweetheart. Not because you were perfect, but because you stayed good even when they tried to make you bitter. She touched my face. That's worth more than any silver. I hugged her.
Tight.
Thank you, I whispered. Don't thank me. Just promise me something. Anything. Promise me you'll be happy here. I pulled back. I looked at her. I promise. She smiled. Outside, the snow kept falling. Inside, something new was beginning. The next morning, I woke up in my old bedroom. Grandma had insisted we stay the night. My son was still asleep in the bed next to me, curled up under the quilt, his face peaceful. I lay there for a moment, staring at the ceiling. Everything felt different, lighter somehow. For the first time in years, I wasn't carrying the weight of their approval. I wasn't wondering what I'd done wrong. I wasn't planning how to fix things. I was just free. I got up quietly. I pulled on my sweater and went downstairs. Grandma was already in the kitchen. She had coffee brewing. The smell filled the house. Morning, she said. She looked tired but steady. Morning. I poured myself a cup. Did you sleep? Some. She smiled. You? Better than I have in months. We sat at the table. The same table we'd sat at last night. But everything felt different now. I called my lawyer, Grandma said. He's coming at 10. Today?
Yes.
I want this done. I nodded. Your mother called, she added, 4 times. I didn't answer. What about Dad? He left a voicemail. Said we need to talk. Said this has gone too far. She took a sip of coffee. I deleted it.
I didn't say anything.
Tyler texted, she continued. He wants to apologize. He wants to explain. Are you going to let him?
No.
The word was final. Hard. We drank our coffee in silence. At 9:30, there was a knock at the door. Grandma and I looked at each other.
Stay here, she said.
She got up and walked to the front door. I heard it open. My mother's voice. Desperate. Mom, please. Just listen. No. 5 minutes. That's all I'm asking. I gave you 5 minutes last night. You wasted them. I know I did. But please. This is important. I heard Grandma sigh.
Fine.
5 minutes. Out here. The door closed. I sat at the table. I could hear their voices through the window. Muffled, but clear enough. Mom, I'm begging you. Don't cut us out. You cut yourselves out. We made a mistake. Stop saying that. It wasn't a mistake.
It was a choice.
Multiple choices. I know. You're right. But we're family. We can fix this. How, Linda? Tell me how you're going to fix this. Silence. You can't get the silver back. Tyler gambled away $30,000. You lied to me. You humiliated Jessica. Grandma's voice was cold, flat. What exactly are you going to fix? We'll pay you back. With what money? We'll figure it out. No, you won't, because you never do. My mother started crying. I could hear it even through the glass. Please, she sobbed. Please don't do this. Don't shut us out. Don't take away the house. The house was never yours to lose. But we've always stayed in the cottage. Every summer. Every Christmas. This is our family home. And you disrespected it. You stole from it. You used it to hide your son's crimes. I was protecting him. From what? Consequences. Silence. That's exactly the problem, Linda. You've spent Tyler's entire life protecting him from consequences. And look what it's made him. He's not a bad person. He's a thief. My mother gasped. Like the word was a slap. He stole from his grandmother. Grandma continued. Her voice didn't rise. It didn't have to. He pawned a family heirloom. He lied about it. And when he got caught, he didn't take responsibility. He made excuses. Just like you taught him. That's not fair. It's the truth. More crying. Then my mother's voice. Smaller now. Broken. What about Jessica? Are you giving everything to her? Yes.
Why?
Because she's perfect.
No.
Because she's honest. Silence. Jessica has never asked me for anything, Grandma said. She's never lied to me. She's never stolen from me. She's never used me. She just loved me. Without conditions. My mother didn't respond. Can you say the same? Grandma asked. No answer. I didn't think so. I heard footsteps. The door opening. Your 5 minutes are up, Linda. Mom, please go home. This is my home.
No.
Grandma's voice was quiet.
Sad.
It was. But you made your choice.
The door closed.
I heard my mother sobbing on the porch. Then footsteps. A car door. An engine starting. Then silence. Grandma came back into the kitchen. Her face was pale but calm. You okay? I asked. She nodded. Are you? Yeah. She sat down. She took my hand. This is going to get ugly, she said. You know that, right? I know. They're going to fight. They're going to say terrible things. They're going to try to turn people against you. Let them. She squeezed my hand. You're stronger than I thought. I learned from you. She smiled. At 10 o'clock, the lawyer arrived. His name was Mr. Peterson. He was old, professional,
Kind.
He laid out the papers on the dining room table. This transfers the deed of the property to Jessica Harper, he said. The house, the cottage, the land, all of it. Upon your death, Mary, it goes directly to her. No probate, no contest. Grandma nodded. And my daughter, my grandson, they're removed entirely from the will. They receive nothing.
Good.
Mr. Peterson looked at me. Jessica, do you understand what this means? I nodded. Yes. Your mother and brother will likely challenge this. They may claim undue influence, coercion. They may argue that Mary wasn't in her right mind. I'm 78, not senile, Grandma said sharply. Mr. Peterson smiled. I know that, but they'll try. They always do. Let them, Grandma said. I have documentation. I have recordings. I have witnesses. If they want to fight me, they'll lose. Mr. Peterson nodded. Then let's make it official.
He pulled out a pen.
Grandma signed.
Slow. Steady.
Then she slid the papers to me. I looked at them. My name, in black ink. Jessica Marie Harper. Owner. I picked up the pen. I signed. Mr. Peterson witnessed. He stamped the papers. He put them in his briefcase. It's done, he said. Congratulations, Jessica. You're now the owner of the Lake Geneva estate. I couldn't speak. Grandma hugged me. Welcome home, sweetheart, she whispered. After Mr. Peterson left, Grandma and I sat on the porch. My son was inside watching cartoons. The lake was frozen, beautiful, silent. What do I do now? I asked. Whatever you want, Grandma said. It's yours. I looked at the cottage, the place where my parents had always stayed. Can I ask you something? Of course. Do you want them gone? From the cottage. Grandma looked at me. Do you? I thought about it, really thought about it. Yes, I said finally. I do. She nodded. Then they're gone. When? Today. She pulled out her phone. She typed something. She hit send. What did you say? I asked. She showed me the screen. The text was to my father. You have until 5 p.m. to remove your belongings from the cottage. After that, the locks will be changed. Do not contact me again. Simple.
Direct.
Final. I felt a rush of something. Not quite satisfaction. Not quite relief. Justice. What if they don't leave? I asked. Grandma smiled.
Grim.
Then I'll have them removed. You'd really call the police? On trespassers? Yes. I looked at her. This woman who'd always been so warm, so kind. She was still kind, but she was done being soft. There's a Motel 6 about 10 miles from here, she said casually. I checked. They have capacity. I laughed. I couldn't help it. It was the same line my mother had used on me. The same lie. And now it was the truth. Grandma smiled. Poetic, isn't it? Yeah, I said. It really is. We sat there, watching the lake, watching the snow. At 4:30, a car pulled up. My father's SUV. He got out. So did my mother. So did Tyler. They walked to the cottage. They didn't look at the house. They didn't knock. They just started loading boxes. Grandma and I watched from the porch. They made 3 trips. Clothes.
Bags.
Random things they'd kept there over the years. My mother was crying the whole time. Tyler looked angry, his jaw tight, his movements sharp. My father looked defeated. On their last trip, My father stopped. He looked at the house. Our eyes met. I didn't look away. He opened his mouth, like he wanted to say something. Then he closed it. He got in the car. They drove away. The cottage stood empty. Grandma reached over. She took my hand. How do you feel? She asked.
I thought about it. Free, I said.
She smiled. Good.